Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Finding Data Friends. We found someone that I've definitely never met before to introduce to the podcast today, so I'm very excited to get to know you. Eelco, thanks for joining us. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Hello, world. My name is, for people outside of the Netherlands, Eelco Drost. And people inside of the Netherlands, they call me Eelco Drost. It's unlike your name, Ben. My name gets mispronounced a lot abroad, but
Ben is just my Starbucks name, so
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's right. I have a lot of Starbucks names actually. I need to collect them. I have them on picture. I live in the Netherlands in a town called Amsterdam. Maybe you've heard of it.
Small town.
47 years old, 26 of that working as an IT professional. So I go way back.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
Well,
mean, we
that
could
might.
have told that by the background, and I'm not referring to the Legos, but the CDs.
the
So,
CDs. Yeah, those are
as
pretty
I
old.
was telling Elko before we got started, tell me you're old without telling me you're old. So,
The
It's true. That is
CDs.
a
Yeah.
large CD collection.
he was then referring back to my storage cabinets behind me. So, I feel it takes one to know one. So, there's that.
There's even cassettes. There's even cassettes and vinyl still here. So yeah.
So, I moved all my vinyls to the basement when we needed to make room for
Oh
kid stuff.
no! I
We
hope.
still have a lot of cassettes, especially kids' cassettes now. So,
I hope the basement is not humid or moist.
no, it's not. They are, and they're in good
Oh,
cases and everything.
yeah.
So it's, and at some point I will make room for the players and the vinyls and everything again. That point is about give or take 18 years in the future, I guess.
I was going to say,
Really?
when
So
kids move out.
I'm intrigued. What's in your collection, then? So maybe we can have a different session on that one.
So that would be mostly 1990s to very early 2000s house and electronic music.
Ooh, and ELO.
Nice. Well, you're going down a rabbit hole before we've even got started with
I
the
know. I'm
first
sorry.
question, which is supposed to be data related.
I know.
You
We were
mentioned you've
talking
been.
about vinyls and a location, and that is kind of a geospatial data type. And now we could talk
Okay,
about a
okay.
number, which would be an integer, and then we have data. I mean, I'm just saying, we can
No,
make this data
nerd
related
alert.
and still chat about our collection for the next 15 minutes.
Okay. But we'll come back to that. We'll get onto non-data things later on.
Okay.
Follow the plan, man.
Okay.
We'll put
Anyway,
you in
our
charge.
first
You're such a
question.
mean boss.
Anyway, our first question is what your favorite data thing is, Elko.
My favorite data thing that must be internals and performance tuning. I started 26 years ago with SQL 6.5, I think. No extended events, no DMVs, no. But we did have the index tuning wizard. We did have the data tuning advisor, query analyzer. No, that's where
Good
my love
stuff.
love started for performance tuning and internals. So that must be my favorite thing to do. My role was always between the DBAs and the developers. So I was a DBA towards development and not towards infrastructure. So I was always busy with performance tuning, making things faster and understand why, instead of just assuming, okay, well, if this is what it spits back, it should be okay. I was always interested in the why and how.
Nice.
So yeah, internals. Not as much as I want anymore these days, but I mean, I used to read the blog post of Paul White during breakfast. I can't do that anymore. It's yeah, I don't even know if he still blogs, but yeah, that used to be my interest. Still is, by the way.
Nice. I know that
Hmm.
we always, it's probably fair to mention that I work for Elko, so we get to talk quite often, but we always tap you in when there's a good performance problem. You've got.
Yeah, but not after Claudio was in there, and I'm usually holding his beer while he's doing his stuff. I thought I went deep, but he goes
Yeah, for sure.
beyond stuff.
He's a next level wizard on that stuff.
Exactly.
How have you
It's
two
like,
never met if you're working for him? I'm confused.
it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's
Yeah,
a weird world.
it
Indeed.
is.
I'm always mind blown by the performance tuning stuff because I think I understand it and I'm like following along. Either you or Claudio's teaching something and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I do it and it like makes it worse somehow. It's just not how my brain works at all.
Yeah.
Give me PowerShell and automation stuff, I'm there. But performance tuning,
No,
it's
yeah,
not for me.
I have a love for level 500 plus whatever.
Hmm.
Bob Ward and his debugger, the 8KB events. No, I'm
Hmm.
a huge fan of that. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
no,
Very cool.
yeah.
Bob Ward and his debugger is, by the way, in the name of my college ska punk band. So,
Really?
I was going to say, do you have the vinyl? Is it in the basement?
of course,
He has a soundtrack. Yeah.
Bob Ward and the debugger.
Mhm.
Good tune. Good tune.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it.
So I'm wondering how I can turn the next question to another discussion around music and vinyls and everything. But we'll see how that works. Our second question is always, when you're not into internals and performance tuning and extended events and all that, what is your favorite non-data thing to do?
Well, we gave it away already. My favorite thing outside professional stuff is music. Listening to, watching, or even playing. I haven't played in a while though, but I used to be a drummer in a rock band. Picked up some guitar, but yeah, I don't do that anymore as much as I want actually. I live in Amsterdam, so there's a concert venue on every corner of the street. So there's a lot of stuff happening here. So it's a good place to be. And also listening to music, buying music, visiting a record stores on Saturday. It's my favorite thing to do. Yeah.
Do you know how many CDs and vinyls and cassettes and stuff you have? Is there a database for that?
Yeah, well, there actually is. It's called Discogs.
Okay.
It's an online platform where you can buy, where there's a marketplace where you can buy music, but also where you can keep your collection and your want list. So
Okay.
whenever Jody or whoever is trying to buy me something, they always go to the want list and then see what's on there.
Nice.
No, I'm one of those nerds that actually has cataloged the whole collection, even the version of the vinyl, if it's the master tape, if it's the remaster, if it's the reissue from 2000, blah blah blah. I have that all in. Yeah.
Amazing. And are the CDs behind you in alphabetical order? Are they like
No,
organized?
actually,
No.
that is a huge mess. That
Okay.
I should reorder that. But my vinyl is based on music genre, so I have it not an alphabet because then you get AC/DC next to ABBA, and then yeah, maybe that's not.
Which would be a very nice mashup,
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, no. So I think around 6,000 CDs ish,
Jeez.
a couple of hundred vinyls, not in the thousands, and 50 cassettes, I think. But
Nice.
I don't have a cassette deck anymore, so I'm not even to play it. But
Just
maybe
keeping
one day.
them for when it comes back around.
It does come back because the biggest vinyl store here in Amsterdam has already 2 meters of cassettes again. So it
Oh,
does.
really?
Yeah, it's coming back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So and then at the end of
Why would you buy something new on cassette? Because it doesn't really give you any actual benefit with regards to quality, storage, or whatever.
no, exactly. I think it's just the nostalgia thing of it because you want to use the pen or the pencil to read.
Yeah, to twist it. And I've got my Walkman and I put the whole cassette in, It's like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
big.
But did you have auto reverse or did you manually have to like?
So my last one had auto reverse, but the one that Gwenny has now does not. So like every 45 minutes, she's gonna stand there and be like, "Dad, you need to turn it around for me." Not because she can't do it; she's just too lazy. So
She's
there's that.
outsourcing. She doesn't need to take her
What
time
does
with
that
those
make
kind of
me?
tasks.
What?
No
And
comment.
anyway, thank you. I appreciate you not answering that one. Yeah, I once tried starting a database on my music, and since mine is mostly, I'm gonna say it's probably about 1,000 CDs, but way
It's
in the thousands of vinyls.
so
And then
the
I started it, and I was like, okay, that's a white label. That's another white label. That's another. How would I even put that? And then I was bored and gave up. So.
Yeah. So if it has a barcode on it, the app for Discogs can scan it and has the version and everything already in. So it literally takes you like 2 seconds per item. Just saying, Ben.
Again, you heard me say white label. It has nothing on it. It's white on the front and white on the back.
And white on the vinyl or black, but like no labels.
No.
Oh, is that
Just a
thing?
mystery.
Yeah. So you never know what you're putting on.
I mean, usually once you listen to it, you would at least get an idea. Or these days, you could probably just Shazam it. But that was back in the day when they would kind of do a pre-release for any stuff and just see what works and what not, and then yeah.
It would take me seconds to catalog my music collection because I don't think I own a single CD, cassette, anything at this point.
Yeah, but what kind of data storage would you use for that? I mean, that is the perfect use case for serverless, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Ephemeral discs.
So
good to go.
That would be starting up Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I had a ton of CDs and cassettes when I lived at my parents' house, and then moved to America. Had some there, moved back. They didn't. None of them made the move. So, yeah, I think at this point I just listen to streaming services which in some ways I don't like because I know that the artists don't get as much money from those streaming
It kind of
services as they
depends on where
probably
you
should.
buy.
But
Like I try to buy a lot from I also use streaming, again, mostly for Gwenny and stuff. But for this, I don't think I've bought any physical music, like either CDs or vinyls, in forever, just because I would never really get to listen to it.
right.
But if I like an album, I would usually buy it, and I try to buy it from Bandcamp wherever possible, and they seem to treat their artists good enough.
Okay.
Which is also where I bought our good friend Alan Hurt's recent releases.
So
he's
then
got
when you buy
very,
it from
very nice cover of Mr. Roboto, by the way. If you haven't listened to that, it's
okay.
Is it in the show notes?
It depends on Eelco because, as you know, the guests write the show.
Yeah, it's in the comments down. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
So when you buy it on Bandcamp, where do you listen to it? Is it just like files that you can store in OneDrive or wherever and pull up?
They have an app.
Okay.
From where you can then always re-download it. You can listen to it through the browser. You can download. So basically anything digital. But I usually just listen to it from the app.
The good old MP3s.
I'll check it out. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, not sure on the segue on this one, but moving on to our final question, which is what your favorite food is.
Medium rare steak. Boom! I put it out.
Specific. I like it.
Very, very specific. No, I like meat. I like meat, and I'm a meat lover. And when I go for meat, it's usually a medium rare steak.
Perfect.
But I actually do like a lot of kitchens and cuisines, like Italian, Chinese, Indian. I like curries as well. But the number one thing I don't like, goat cheese.
I don't like goat cheese either.
I love goat cheese.
Can't stand it. No.
Which very much played in my favor because when we were in Amsterdam the other week, we were at this wine, champagne, and whatnot festival, and someone got food, and it was how do you call them? It's not a pizza, thinner crust. Flammkuchen.
Flammkuchen, yeah.
And it had goat cheese on it, and about half the table didn't like that. So, yay me!
Winning for you.
You should not like that. But and it was dripped with honey, maybe then also. Yeah.
It was delicious. By the way, Eelco, so close, because I was just about to compliment you on you gave one very specific answer on the data thing and one very specific answer on the non-data thing, one very specific answer on the food thing. And I was like, good job. I think you're the first, for the first time in forever, to give like a small musical reference here. And then you were like, but I also like this and this and this, and I don't like them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So close.
So close.
So close to being the best guest ever.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Sorry.
We'll take your first answer, which was specific. So
correct.
I think we're okay.
Maybe you can cut it away or edit it.
The jury will disregard the other statements.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
always my favorite part in any jury involving American movie, because I'm always wondering, how does that work?
Yeah. Just forget it. I never heard that.
He just confessed, but no.
Forget that.
We'll just be
All
like,
right.
that didn't happen. That doesn't concern him.
Yeah.
Anyways, before anybody here gets to confessing anything or gives even more answers to the other two questions, which we do not want to happen. So, Eelco, thank you for joining us. I'm, again, so glad you two finally got to meet. You really should have like a company get-together or something at some point.
Yeah, one day.
So you can meet in
Hopefully
person. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks you all for listening. Thank you, Jess. And we see you all next week with yet another guest. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, folks.